But the second one, which hit in 2004, was like hardcore action.
Which
Like
one's the one that had Nemesis in it?
that was the second one.
Okay, I remember that one
Yeah, that's the
as
one.
well.
Mike Epps was like the comedic relief in there.
Yeah.
And then it like opened with Jill Valentine in her textbook blue tank top and black dress, or not dress skirt. Like it starts out with her walking into the RPD, just shooting all the zombies that are like arrested and they don't know what's going on. But it was awesome. Like, and I know people like again, as far as Resident Evil is concerned, like these movies were outstanding. I mean,
Yeah.
they had the second one 2004, Extinction was 2007, Afterlife was 2010, Retribution was 2012, and Final Chapter was 17. So this goes into kind of the next era. Oh, welcome back. We are live, not live, just kidding. We are back for episode 32. I got my numbers right. 32 here on June 9th. And holy crap, has it been a week. I would love to say that today's episode was going to be dedicated to all of the announcements that we've heard about, but
But you're gonna have to wait a week.
you're going to have to wait a week. And the reason behind that is so it's, we've said before, we record these obviously like before they release. And as of right now, we have just been privy to the state of play. We've got, the others that took place when you're listening to this over the weekend. We haven't had a chance to dissect. So our episode next week is going to be that, focusing on kind of recapping those things. So our episode today, though, because of that, our story mode is going to be press start to watch. And that is going to be focusing on everything video game movie related. Movie, TV show, basically things that started out as games and then made it to the big, or here recently, small screen, if you will. I'm actually shocked that we've made it this long and didn't talk video game movies. I feel like they've come up.
Well, I think we've talked about them. We've just not talked about did a specific episode
Yeah,
because we've talked about them a bunch.
exactly. So it's just one of those things. We did the licensing tie-ins, but this is
Yeah,
specifically games that, went to movies.
the licensing tie-in was movies that became games. This is the other way around.
Exactly.
This is games that became movies.
Yeah, yeah. And our side quest, both are kind of. Both are kind of on brand. The first one we're doing now loading. So that's our social media trends stuff. Austin has put together a bracket for us, and we're going to do a bracket challenge of video game movies. I will say I'm a huge fan of the bracket filters on TikTok. I have done so many of those. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't seen the bracket, so we'll see. But last time we did a bracket, we did the same thing, but we were vastly different. And then we have a new side quest today, and it's called Midnight Meter. And we've tried to skew away from doing like ratings of things. Ratings are kind of a hot topic for folks. Like when you think of IGN scores and all of that. But frankly, after we did our episode about Game Informers and stuff like that, I just thought it'd be cool to have a segment where we go through and rate some stuff that we've either recently watched, recently played, mainly new releases, but it could be anything that we've just recently touched. So that's going to be our second side quest, and it's a new one. It's a fresh one, and it's one we can revisit.
Just want to give a chance and see how it goes.
Yeah, and we can always revisit. And look, everyone is entitled to their opinion, even if it's the wrong opinion. I was hoping you were going to say the same thing that my line.
I knew what you were going to say, but I just felt like I would let you say it.
That's fair assessment. Fair assessment. I think that covers it for press start.
Yeah. The
right?
only other thing is I just want to say happy birthday to my wife because today is her birthday. That this comes out.
That's right. I'm actually glad you said that so that I can.
And also happy belated birthday to Wayne because it was the day before this comes out.
That's right. So yeah, the 8th. So happy belated birthday to Wayne, and then happy birthday to Reba. So, fun fact. We've established on this pod that Austin and Wayne have known Howie their whole lives. They call him by his first name, which is Scott. I refuse to call him Scott. I call him Reba, or I call him Howie. Austin's wife's no different. I feel like I'm the only person that calls her Reba now for some reason. So, but
It was only you and Rob.
yeah. So I mean, there's that. So, but all right.
All right, now we can get into story mode.
That wraps up our press start. Let's jump into our story mode. Press start to watch. All right. So, video game movies. Man, you talk about a contentious ass topic sometimes. Like, I mean, I think the perception of video game movies has finally started to change. Or video games media, because I know we're going to talk some TV shows, has started to change in the last 5-10 years. Like his
Definitely recently with the releases of the shows, like which we'll get into them later, but Last of Us, Fallout was fantastic.
Yeah, I need to finish. I need to finish,
and even the upcoming ones. Did you see the first clip from Zelda? Or not the clip, but the screenshots that they had.
Yeah.
So just like the way that they're doing stuff, like it's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it has changed, but historically, anyone who is an avid gamer or an avid watcher of film would tell you that video game based movies are terrible, like 90% of the time. Now, that's not for me because
there's some that you're not gonna get me behind.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I generally enjoy everything, but I can acknowledge, okay, it's all right, it's all right. The first major Hollywood video game based movie. Your facial expression tells me that you have something to say before I say this.
Not on this one. I need you to get past the first one, and then when you get to the second and third one, they have to go together because there's a reason why.
All right, fair assessment. So the first major Hollywood video game based movie was, and I'm sure you all may already be thinking it, and you'd be right. Now, technically, if you ask Google or anything, it does throw out something that was in Japan, like in the 70s, but I wasn't going to pick that one. Major Hollywood picture was Super Mario Brothers. And we're talking the OG with John Leguizamo as Luigi, Dennis Hopper as Koopa, as Bowser. I feel horrible that I can't remember the guy's name who passed away, who played Mario, off the top of my head. But he was also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But I can't remember his name. I know he died. Bob Hoskins. There we go. But that movie, so generally, is seen as pretty horrible.
That one, I wasn't super behind like I was the next couple we get into, because
I love it. Like, and again,
I watched it, but it was not the one.
It is super weird. Like, the dystopian vibe is strange, but yeah. It very much has become like a cult classic. People are going back to it, and I think there were some interviews with, obviously Dennis Hopper and Bob Hoskins are both dead. I just realized I had his name written on this list, and I was trying to think of it, and I already had Bob Hoskins listed. But they both apparently came out and said it performed horribly. First of all, Bob Hoskins is on record saying he really didn't like it, and Dennis Hopper didn't even know what the heck was going on. And these are big names. Dennis Hopper I think was in Deliverance and stuff like that. I think. But I mean, it was bad enough that Nintendo just completely avoided movies, period, until we got.
Actually, if I think about it, outside of that one, I don't think was their next movie Mario.
It was the next one,
the remake with
Chris Pratt and all that.
Yeah,
that was, which obviously was hugely successful. We'll get to it, but yeah, they didn't do anything else. We didn't get anything TV show. Now you could
crazy.
You could argue animated stuff, because I think that Mario cartoon maybe came out after the movie, but no, as far as Hollywood production is concerned, no, nothing. I mean, it did that bad that Nintendo was like, "Nah, I'm good." But it was the first one. Now, whenever you get into there's kind of various. I feel like we're stealing from Taylor Swift every time we use this methodology, but because we talked about eras when we were talking about music, but video game based movies I think also could be broken down into eras.
Well, so Yes, but what I was gonna say, so getting into Street Fighter. So
Yeah,
you,
because
I see the
that
note. You haven't ever seen this movie,
I haven't. So that first era is like the '90s, and you've got like
so
you've got Mario, what we just talked about, and then yeah, you've got Street Fighter that was a year later in '94. And yes, I actually haven't seen it.
that movie's actually not that bad. Like
I,
we used
I've
to watch
I've
it.
heard
My
that.
my aunt had it on VHS, and we would watch it when we go to her house.
See,
And that
and I like Jean Claude Van Damme. Like,
so and there's a lot of fighting, but what I was getting at, so your next movie is Mortal Kombat.
oh yeah,
Okay.
95. Yep.
So this is going to be going a little bit in the future, but what I was getting at, what made me smile. So Liu Kang, the guy that plays Liu Kang
In the
Mortal Kombat,
OG.
I don't know his name, in the original one in
Yeah,
'95,
yeah, yeah.
the Street Fighter Chun Li movie
Oh, the one that came out like later.
in 2009. That's what
Yeah.
I just looked up. So
Was he in that?
he was I can't remember the guy's name. The old guy from Street Fighter, Liu Kang played him. The guy who played Liu Kang
Really?
played him. That's what I was smiling about earlier.
I didn't know that. That's really funny.
Yes. So
The irony.
I
of
don't
him
know
being
any other
in-
movies he's in. He was literally in the Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, both fantastic movies. And then that outside of those two, I don't know of another movie he was in. And then he was in the Street Fighter movie as the old like teacher. I don't know his name off the top of my.
Well, I'd have to look up. I think I looked this up once before. I think he did stunt work for a long time. Like I don't think he did any like roles. I think he did stunt work. I could be wrong, but that's insane though that he touched two like combative franchises.
Well, now I'm trying to find. No,
Yeah.
I got to find the cast list to find his name.
Yeah, I mean, if you look up the cast list on IMDb, I mean, it'll show all his filmography, including anything he would have done stunts for. But the thing about, like, obviously in the 90s, Jean-Claude Van Damme was the cat's meow. I mean, was that Universal Soldier? I think he was in Sudden Death, of course, Bloodsport.
Bloodsport's fantastic.
Yeah, he was, that same era of action stars, Schwarzenegger and Stallone, so it makes sense that that Van Damme was in Street Fighter. And what's funny, though, with Mortal Kombat, so the Mortal Kombat movie came out a year later in 95. Now, that's hysterical when you think about it. Street Fighter came out first, then Mortal Kombat, and then this year we had, which we'll talk about, we had the new Mortal Kombat, and then Street Fighter's coming out later this year. But apparently, and it makes sense. Like, I think I always theorized it, but with everything here recently, I've seen more about it. Did you know that Johnny Cage as a character was inspired by Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I did not know that.
Yeah, like apparently they made Johnny Cage like the way he is to like make fun of Jean-Claude Van Damme because I guess they, and I'd have to dig into the specifics of the lore, but I thought it was funny because I've always thought Johnny Cage gave me those vibes. All right, what do you got?
So his name is Robin Shu.
Uh-huh.
So he is a voice actor. He was a voice actor in Sleeping Dogs.
Okay. So that's a great game.
He was in all the Death Races.
Okay.
He was in Dead or Alive.
Oh, another video game movie. This dude has touched every fighting game franchise.
He was in Mortal Kombat Annihilation. He was in Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh, that's classic.
And then what else? Anything else good? Off top, and then he was in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Gin is the guy's name. Is the guy he played in Street Fighter? It's the teacher,
Gotcha.
the old guy from the movie.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But the thing about Mortal Kombat, the movie in '95, like, what do you, aside from the fact that we enjoyed the hell out of that movie, what's the first thing that you think of when you think of that?
Mortal Kombat.
Dun, 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 dun. Dude, that theme, like, and apparently it won a shitload of awards, which makes sense. Like, that is
Just the theme did?
yes. Like, just the theme.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the movie didn't, but just the theme. And I actually have the theme like on one of my random playlists. Like, and we talked we had that episode where we talked about anime AMVs and stuff. I remember watching a lot of AMVs that had the Mortal Kombat theme playing behind it.
You know, though, like a lot of people, I liked Annihilation too.
I did too. I mean, in general.
Do you know why I liked Annihilation? It had Reptile in it.
That's what I was going to say, because it had Reptile. Because yeah, it came out in '97, so a couple years later. And of course, between those two, like Mario movie is in general regarded as trash. 95 Mortal Kombat's generally regarded, pretty good, but Annihilation, people they said the acting was super hokey, and
you're not gonna have when you have a second one. Usually, your first one did decently.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or an okay, So the first one did okay, and then the second one didn't, and then you never saw a third one. Then you didn't see anything from Mortal Kombat till Mortal Kombat came out in the new one.
Well, kind of. I didn't put it on here, but we'll talk about it when we get to it, because you probably haven't seen it.
Are you talking about the animated one they made?
No, the animated is really good too. But no, they did another live action, which if you haven't seen, you need to watch. It's on YouTube, I think. But after like the 90s, like we don't really, and by the way, we may or may not cover and talk about every single thing, by the way. So anyone who listens are like, man, you skipped right over. Look, we're not going to cover all of them. But if we jump to the like the 2000s, or kind of a chaos era of film, basically, when we look at the 2000s, I mean, there's a bunch.
This area is also where the Chun-Li movie would be. The Street Fighter Chun-Li movie.
Yeah, so like I said, I didn't even grab that one for the list, but yeah, because it came out in
2009.
Yeah, so because in general, when we're talking about this, we're really talking like 2000, 2010 kind of. There's a few exceptions in this, but you had the Tomb Raider movie with Angelina Jolie that came out in 2001.
I thought it was good.
I enjoyed it. I thought Angelina Jolie
had a real good leading cast member.
Yes, and Jolie was...
She's fantastic.
Oh, agreed. Well, and Jolie was very much at kind of a peak...
When that came out, this is whenever she was like huge, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I can't think of what else would have been out kind of around that time, but she was like the cat's meow kind of at that time. And technically, like you just said, first movie does good. You're going to do a second one, and they did do a second one, Cradle of Life.
I do remember it.
That came out in 2003. I didn't put it on here, but I just pulled
it didn't do well.
It did not. But do you know what's funny about that? Do you know? So one of my favorite actors of recent memory, Gerard Butler, is in that movie. And
it's been so long since I've seen it. I didn't remember that. I remember the original one. Like I remember scenes from the original one. Like I remember there's one where there's like a storm going on and she's walking through the living room or something like that with her guns out. And someone's about to break in the house or something like that. I remember that. I think that's the opening.
I don't know if it's the opening, but yeah.
But it's really close.
But no, when Gerard Butler was taken off, I remember looking up his movies and I saw Tomb Raider Cradle of Life and I was like, what? And I went back and rewatched it. And yeah, he's like a weird former love interest kind of thing, but same thing. They did one. It was successful, at some degree, because that's the thing. Even if these were deemed successful, people still had the blanket assumption. Video game movies suck, but they did a second one. But they didn't do one after that, at least not with Jolie. We'll talk about the other one, but in I would say the biggest game movie in the 2000s, and it stretches until later in the 2010s, but was the Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich. And dude, look,
the first 2 or 3 of those were fantastic. I actually liked them a lot. I remember the first one specifically.
Yeah, dude, I loved those movies. The first one, and if I remember correctly, she met her husband. I think her husband was the director. They weren't married at the time. They met on those movies. And
yeah.
Then, but the first one came out in 2002. And like I said, I love these. The first one, of course, leaned real heavy into the horror aspect.
I remember... So, I didn't like scary movies.
I still don't like scary movies.
I don't... just don't. I remember watching that with my grandpa, and and I was fine. Like I love those movies. The first like 2 or 3 Resident Evil movies, fantastic.
Oh yeah. Well, the first one, like I don't like horror, and it leaned very heavy into the horror, but I still enjoyed the heck out of it. Like you remember the scene in the hallway with all the freaking lasers and stuff. Like, but the second one, which hit in 2004, was like hardcore action. Like
Which one's the one that had Nemesis in it?
that was the second one.
Okay, I remember that one.
Yeah, that's the
What's
one.
that?
Mike Epps was like the comedic relief in there.
Yeah.
And then it like opened with Jill Valentine in her textbook blue tank top and black dress, or not dress, skirt. Like it starts out with her walking into the RPD, just shooting all the zombies that are like arrested and they don't know what's going on. But it was awesome. Like, and I know people like, again, as far as Resident Evil is concerned, like these movies were outstanding. I mean,
Yeah.
they had the second one 2004, Extinction was 2007, Afterlife was 2010, Retribution was 2012, and Final Chapter was 17. So this goes into kind of the next era, but and I enjoyed them all, but there's definitely, I agree with you, those first three were awesome.
Which one's the one? Didn't they make one recently without her, and everyone like was very upset about it?
So that movie, I can't remember what year it came out, but it's in the last couple of years.
But I'm not wrong.
No, that is so Resident Evil Raccoon City movie came out in 2021.
I knew it was recent.
That is one of the few movies that I absolutely despise. I literally did a post about how horrible this movie was. And
then aren't they? They're either making one or another one came out after that, like somewhat recently with her in it.
No, they haven't done another one with her, but there is a new one coming out. I may not.
That's what I was.
Yeah, actually,
I didn't. That's why I went ahead and brought it up because I didn't see it on here.
I didn't. We'll talk about it when we get to the upcoming.
But I was gonna say, aren't they making a new one with her back in it?
No. This is a brand new.
Okay.
It's
I
a brand
thought she
new,
was coming back
fresh
in
one. If you haven't seen the trailer, it's actually really good.
Oh no, I did. My buddy. You know what? I did see it because there's it's a guy that's the
Yeah.
and he's running. Yeah, it looked weird to me, which we'll get into that when we get.
Oh
there.
yeah. But
we'll get into that when we get there. But
still in the 2000s, though, you had House of the Dead. It came out in 2003, which technically is one of the worst reviewed game movies ever, which I didn't know that. And again, with reviews, you can take those with a grain of salt, but as far as the stats are concerned, that's apparently the worst reviewed movie ever. You had Doom in 2005, and look, man,
that's when The Rock started.
Because you had, I mean, at that point, The Rock had done like
Walking Tall, maybe.
I don't
or
think
Rundown.
I don't think he had done either one of those at that point.
Rundown was fantastic. I know it's not a movie, like a video game movie. That movie was fantastic.
Dude, I love the Rundown. It came
out. A little thunder?
Okay, no, you're right. So Rundown came out in 2003, and
then he did this, and then he did Walking Tall, I think.
Yeah, because Walking Tall came out in 2004. No, so sure enough, he did.
Well, they were both before.
Yeah. So, but Doom.
Now,
the thing I put down about Doom though is our nerdy Lord and Savior Carl Urban, who has touched every nerdy fandom known to man. He's been in Lord of the Rings. He's been in Marvel. He's been in DC stuff. He was in The Boys.
You're talking about that scene towards the end of the movie where it goes first person?
Dude, that scene? Yeah. Like because at that point, I will say, and I think they've gotten back to this. I think a lot of the ones all the ones we've talked about, I can't think of like moments from a game I remember jumping out on the screen. Like I don't remember any of these other ones doing that. But in Doom, like that was the most iconic thing in Doom. It was first person.
I remember my biggest problem or thing with Doom was because I was younger, so it came out in 2005. I was a big Rock fan. I've always been Dwayne Johnson's fantastic, and I still to this day I think he's a great human being. I think he's fantastic.
Agreed.
So I remember because I was young. I was only like 10 when this movie came out. And I'm sorry guys, if y'all haven't seen it to this point, that's not a spoiler. It's
Oh
21
no,
years old.
no, no.
When he was a bad guy at the end, like ended up being a bad guy.
Oh, that is
Where's that
20.
face?
That's 21 years ago.
Yeah.
God.
But when he becomes a bad guy in that movie, though, like whenever he comes out that he's a bad guy, I was so mad.
No,
so
agreed.
mad
Because I don't know how many movies he's done where he's played the bad guy.
That's the only one that I can think of.
Yeah. So, but that was a super iconic scene, and frankly, it's the only like good thing people usually say about it.
Well, he did that one movie with Chris Evans and someone else, and they're kind of all bad guys. Red something.
Well, Red Notice. It wasn't Chris Evans. It was Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I knew it was somebody. That was a good movie too.
And Gal Gadot. That was a good movie. But then you had Silent Hill in 2006. Now I know huge Silent Hill fans loved that movie. Now you would think that I would be a big Silent Hill fan because guess who created Silent Hill? Our Lord and Savior Hideo Kojima. But I don't like scary stuff. So I have played Silent Hill, but I'm not like obsessed with it like I am other things Kojima touches. Then you had Dead or Alive that came out in 2006. Scott, that would be Howie's favorite.
My boy.
Yeah, that would be Howie's favorite. I don't know if it has any beach volleyball in there or not, but and ironically enough, Austin, you brought up that the guy who played Liu Kang is also in that, which is so funny.
I wonder who did he play what's his face in it? I wonder.
See, I can't remember a lot of characters from DOA. I know I historically enjoyed playing DOA.
He was the pirate leader. Okay. Is who he was.
Okay.
In DOA.
But so that hit in 2006.
That was a bad movie. That was not a great movie.
See, I haven't seen that one. And then you have in 2007, you had Hitman, which I feel I liked that. So there's been 2 Hitman movies, technically. This one is the one that had Timothy Olyphant, and I feel horrible that I can't remember her name. I feel like it's Olga something. She wound up being the Bond girl in...
I don't know if I've seen the Hitman movies, to be honest with you.
Well, so the second one, I can't remember when the second one came out. It was later, but...
It's newer, right? I think I've seen the newer one. I don't think I've seen this one.
Yeah, so... and the second one is called... it came out in That is not right. Why are you showing me a 2015? There we go. So it was after this one. But the one with Timothy Olyphant, I really enjoyed. Like I did. And it was 2007. And then another one kind of before we get to the 2010s that I kind of forgot about as I was doing this list, and it kind of popped up later. But the Max Payne movie that had
I remember that movie.
Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis in it. And again, I enjoy everything to some degree. I remember enjoying the Max Payne movie.
I don't remember watching it, but I remember it coming out.
Yeah. And that's the thing. This era, like, it was still very much like perceived in the narrative. Again, I don't think this narrative has shifted until like the last 5-6 years, but that video game movies are bad. Like, that was still the constant narrative when they were released. There's a couple
which everything that we've talked about pretty much consistently was people registered as a bad movie. Like, they did. Like, that's just how it is. Now, your next era that you have, though, like...
kind of the turnaround era, if you will.
Well, I think... So we'll start... You have them out of order on here.
Oh, yeah.
The Assassin's Creed movie, I actually enjoyed that movie. I thought it was good.
So did I.
It wasn't like groundbreaking, win awards, but it was a decent movie compared to what we had seen.
Agreed. And it was 16, and when it came out, ironically enough, so funny story about Assassin's Creed. So my buddy Brian, big Assassin's Creed fan, and we were dead set on seeing that movie on release night. Kind of a deep story, I guess. But so we had plans to go see this. So that would have been Thursday night pre-show. And my dad died in a car accident Wednesday night or Tuesday night. And long story short, I hadn't slept from Tuesday night when I found out all the way until I had plans to go see this movie.
Because 2016 was probably they were still doing it like it was early showings, but it wasn't early like it
No,
is now.
it was like the 10 or 11 o'clock at night stuff.
Yeah, like 10 o'clock is when they were.
So
starting.
I had been up, since Tuesday night, and it was going up on Thursday, and Brian was like, "Dude, just get some sleep. We can." I was like, "Nope, I want to do this," And they live an hour and a half away, so I drove down there, saw that movie, but and you know what time I get up these days, and I was like that back then. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm fairly certain. So we got back, and I went to bed. I stayed there. I think I went to bed at like 1 a.m. I don't think I woke up until like 9 or 10 or something crazy. I think the latest I have ever slept as an adult was that morning. But anyway, but yeah, Assassin's Creed was a good one. If you jump, and then you're right.
Going to Warcraft.
Yeah, I have dates kind of all over the place, but yeah, the Warcraft.
Movie. So I enjoyed watching the Warcraft movie. I went in theaters and watched it. I remember that. I remember talking to Scott about it, and Scott being really upset with it because
I was going to say
behind it.
Yeah, I was going to say I remember him talking about
that because I remember him because I didn't play Warcraft at that point. I didn't play WoW at all at that point. I actually started playing WoW a little bit afterwards, like some of the newer expansions. I remember Scott. The reason Scott was mad about it is because like something with the lore and it's not accurate. When you take that out of it, I feel like it's a good movie. But for people who wanted that to be specific to that storyline, it was perceived very not good.
Yeah. And so, but apparently Warcraft was absolutely massive in China, which is why, like, whenever I was thinking about it being part of this kind of turnaround, I was like, what in the world? But it was huge in China, apparently.
That doesn't surprise me, actually.
Yeah. I did forget to mention one what is considered a pretty bad apple that's right at the turn of this era, but that Prince of Persia movie with Jake Gyllenhaal came out in 2010. Yeah. But then you had the Rampage movie in 2018.
Again.
The Rock.
The Rock's in it.
Dwayne Johnson, yeah.
And the comedic, like, going back and forth between him and George, fantastic.
Agreed.
Like, it was awesome. Like, yeah. I liked that movie a lot. I actually watched that movie not that long ago. I saw it on something and was like, you know what? Let's watch it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. But
to be fair, again, there's only like one movie that The Rock's done that I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I generally like everything The Rock does. But really kind of, I guess, where the main narrative was still video game movies kind of suck. Like, that was still the main thing. Then you get to the end of the 2010s, and because you had some others that were kind of scattered actually before.
The one we're getting ready to talk to, I thought this movie was great.
Oh yeah. But before I get to those, I mean, you also had in the 2010s, like, Need for Speed with Aaron Paul came out in that time. Generally, again, that same narrative, video game movies suck. Take into account, I enjoy everything. But that they rebooted the Tomb Raider during that time. In 2018, you had that Tomb Raider come out. I can't, Alicia Vikander or something. I can't remember her name. But it was very much the first Survivor Series game. The first Tomb Raider reboot. Yeah, it's part of the Survivor Series. This movie basically followed that. And literally there were scenes from the game that they produced in that film.
That's cool. I don't remember watching that.
If you haven't seen it, it's very good. But what sucks is it did not do very well. It ended on a cliffhanger, setting up for a sequel. But
I feel like that's one that I may have watched, but I don't remember it. And then I'm gonna go back and watch it and be like, I have seen this. Hold on.
Now the pivot,
because at that point, you know what? Yeah, that was probably that was right as my transition to GameStop was ending.
Oh yeah,
like I was leaving GameStop.
Yep.
So
the pivot where people really maybe the blanket narrative of video game based movies are cursed probably started to shift. I would say first with Detective Pikachu.
The Mr. Mime scene in that movie is so good.
dude.
It is fantastic.
I love
It
that
is
movie.
that movie. I watched that movie. I have that movie in 4K Blu-ray, and Maverick loves that movie. It's great. Like
I and
I
and
love it.
and look, I know, like I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I mean, I know he's getting some bad press and stuff right now because of his wife, but in general, like I think when I first heard the casting of Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, I was like, what?
That's weird. Like you wouldn't think that would be the case, and then he played it, and he played it fantastic.
Agreed.
Like it was awesome. I don't remember the lead guy's name, but he was in a couple other movies or TV shows that I watched as well.
Yeah, he was in the Dungeons and
And he was
Dragons
good
movie
too.
too. That
The what?
the Dungeons and Dragons movie that just came out
That's
recently.
yes,
with
which
Chris
is another
Pine.
one. I don't know if that's really going to be in
I
here,
didn't.
but
Yeah, I didn't put it on there.
I mean, it technically is a board game that created a movie, like so it could go here.
That's true.
It was okay though. That movie was okay.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
the Detective Pikachu, man, I loved. Loved it.
I think Detective Pikachu was a stepping stone to for me was the absolute catalyst for what shifted the narrative, and that was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog was
Dude,
brilliant.
it came out.
The
in
first one was
2020.
brilliant.
It came out in 2020, and now I will say, if it had launched with that original design, would I?
Oh yeah, before they. That's where the meme came from.
Yep. Would I have still watched it and enjoyed it? Yes.
Probably.
With the way I enjoy movies, I would have watched it. I would have enjoyed it. But the fact that the internet bullied a studio.
I wish I could. I want to see the original design again.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. But I think I had looked up, and I believe all the redesign, I think it upped the budget like $10 million or something crazy, and then they delayed the movie like a whole nother year so they could fix the design of Sonic. But literally, I mean, you go online, if you are familiar, you know exactly what we're talking about with the bullying. But if you're not familiar, just Google Sonic the Hedgehog controversy, and it is absolutely insane how just a massive uprising from
It was.
the internet. Are you trying to share your screen or something?
It is shared. I'm showing you the Sonics.
Oh, I can't. It doesn't. Oh, I see it now. It just now popped up. Yeah, it was absolutely insane.
I forgot how bad it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But
I think too, like I think that attributes to like, yes, they ended up putting the budget in, they ended up doing it, right? However, the original, like, I think this attributes that their game movies had been doing so bad that they didn't want to put the money in it to make it what it could be. And this set the catalyst, like, hey, look, let's just try it. Let's do it. They put the money in it. They got it how it's supposed to be. And it was super well perceived. Like, it was so good.
Oh, and it has yielded now 2 sequels. They're working on another one. And all 3 Sonics have been amazing. Like, all 3 of them. The fact
the best one is the second one, in my opinion. But that's because Knuckles.
Well, I liked the third one because Shadow and Keanu Reeves. But that last scene where they, because Golden Sonic was inspired by Super Saiyan, like was inspired by Goku, like Super Saiyan. The fact that there's like this, they played the Sonic battle music and all that, like it, absolutely amazing. But that triggered what is like where we are now, like the golden age, and there's of video game content. Like since then, we've had the Super Mario movie that came out, plus Galaxy that just came out. Both of those have been massively successful. I will say I was not thrilled when I heard about Chris Pratt being casted. In general, I have some issues with Chris Pratt anyway, but I've enjoyed the movies. Like, I think he did a good job. I think everyone in that movie, both of them, did a great job. I will say I love that Brie Larson, massive Nintendo fan, was able to play Rosalina in the newest one.
That's not the one that got me. The one that got me is my boy that played Fox.
Oh, Glenn Powell. Yeah. Well,
I like Glenn Powell.
Yeah. But then, there were some other movies that have come out that people still are kind of like, video game movie curse. Like Uncharted came out in 2022.
I thought Uncharted was good.
So did I.
I thought it was good. Tom Holland did fantastic in that
Well,
movie.
and I think it's funny. I remember when they announced the Uncharted movie, Mark Wahlberg was attached to be Nathan Drake, but there were so many years before they finally made it. They kept Mark Wahlberg, but by that time he was too old.
I thought that movie was fantastic. They definitely should have done a second one.
Oh, and according to Nolan North, they are. Like when I met Nolan North and we talked about it, he said they are, but he said that it's heavily dictated by Tom Holland's schedule, which we know how busy he's been with the Odyssey and Spider-Man and everything else.
Yeah.
But, then you had, of course, the Mortal Kombat reboot in 2021.
The first one, okay. So the first one was definitely a setup movie, and it was a lot of people that were mad about stuff in that movie. They were mad about Cole. Fantastic movie though. Like the fight scenes in that movie were so good. And we're gonna not talk super heavy into the second one at all because it's still newer.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in Midnight Meter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so much fan service and I loved it. Gran Turismo, great movie based on a true story.
I hadn't seen Gran Turismo.
I'm so glad I told you to watch it.
Chase was like me and him were just talking one day and I was going through some of the movies and I was like, dude, I kind of want to, I think this movie, the guy that leads in that's in that, is that the same guy?
No, different guy.
They do look a lot alike. Though.
Yeah. Different guy though.
But anyway, Chase was like, you need to that movie's really good. Like it's actually really, really, really good.
Well, and the reason I told you is because you liked F1. Yeah,
well, not F1. I watched. It wasn't F1. It was something else. It was the other one, the Ford racing movie. With,
that's right.
What was it called? It was about the GT though.
With Christian Bale and
yes, and I thought that movie was good, and he was like, "You need to watch F1 if you like that movie." I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a try one time." Well, I did. That movie was very good.
Well, and the fact that it's based on a true story is
that's
insane.
what I was going to say. I like true story movies that are based on true stories that are accurate, that you can look up story and it's very accurate.
Yeah.
Well, also the dude that plays Hopper. Is so good in that movie too.
Yes. Well, and
so good in that movie.
Well, and Orlando Bloom hasn't really been doing a lot here lately, so the idea of seeing him in there was nice.
Yeah, and
and
another one.
Now, given you've got the Borderlands movie that came out, which look, I saw it in theaters.
I honestly don't know if I've still seen it because of how bad it was. It
was. It's.
Oh no, I did see it. I did watch it.
But I will say the I feel that how bad Borderlands was, and again I enjoyed it, but it gets overshadowed by the fact of, as far as the video game movie curse thing, because of the Sonic movies, and then the Minecraft movie was huge.
Fantastic. Another actor that I really and you have one guy that was in both of them.
Yeah,
Jack Black was in both, so he's hysterical. But I also really like Jason Momoa. So Jason Momoa in Minecraft.
Black. Oh yeah,
fantastic.
And then now I'm not a fan of this, but I know it's a huge game, and apparently the movie was hugely successful.
I want to watch this movie.
The Five Nights at Freddy's.
I've still not seen it. But I wanted to watch that movie. Actually.
But
because and aren't they coming out with a second one?
It's already out.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was either coming out or just came out.
Yep, they're doing a second. They did a second Five Nights at Freddy's, and then they are doing a second Minecraft movie. All those details have been confirmed in the last week. It's called Minecraft Squared, and they announced
Chicken Jockey.
Yeah, they announced some new cast. Kirsten Dunst is in it, and a couple other people they announced. But really, I think. Aside from, there are movies that are doing outstanding well, Mario, Sonic, etc. But I think where video games have nailed the formula is going to a TV show format. Because The Last of Us came out in 2023.
I think it's both. I agree, but I still think some of the newer movies are fantastic.
Yes, I think it depends on the game. For very heavy narrative-based games. So, in the past, Assassin's Creed. In the past, Resident Evil. In the past, Tomb Raider. Those kinds of things, heavy narrative-based games, do not need to be movies. these are games that are 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, hundreds of hours long that they're trying to compress in 2 hours.
I see where you're going with that. That makes sense. Because
Yeah.
then instead of you having a 2 hour movie, you have a show that's an hour long each week. You could develop a story and actually do something. So you have
Exactly.
8, 10 episodes. You have, instead of trying to compile it into 2 hours. So
Because
I get what you're saying.
The Last of Us and Fallout both have swept in award season. Like they cleaned house. It wasn't just well received by gamers; it was well received by
Just as
normal
people in general.
You know,
I still have to finish season 2 of Fallout.
yeah, me too, me too.
So
But I mean, the TV show format definitely, I think, is the way to go. Now, you know, like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, I think, works great as a movie. You know, I don't think you need
because
to
of what you do in Mortal Kombat, and like Mortal Kombat doesn't really have a story. Mortal Kombat's just like, hey, look, we're gonna go fight in a tournament. Let's do this.
Yeah. So,
Like that's the premise of Mortal Kombat.
exactly. And, you know, but the TV show format is like the way to go. Now, so we're turning the curve essentially on now. Again, we're turning the curve from a generalized stereotype perspective. I enjoy them all. We've talked about how much we've enjoyed these things that are generally regarded as trash, but the fact that, and we'll talk Mortal Kombat 2 in our side quest that we both enjoyed, but there is a slew of upcoming stuff that are mixtures of movies and TV shows. You know, you brought it up already when you asked me if I had seen the stills, but that Legend of Zelda, I'm fairly certain that's going to be a TV show. I don't think it's going to be a movie.
I don't remember what it said. I don't remember, but I know that I saw a couple stills on it, and the guy they have playing Link looks very, very close to what he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And I think one of the stills even had a Zelda still in it.
And I'm sorry, it is a film. It is not a TV show.
Okay.
But everyone is speculating.
Well, you've got one on here that we'll get to in a minute that they better not mess it up.
Oh yeah, no. But the Zelda's going to be a movie. They are apparently filming in like all of the same locations they filmed Lord of the Rings.
I did hear that because it's all over. Almost everything is in. I think it's in Scotland.
No, it's in New Zealand.
Is it New Zealand? That's what it was.
But there is so many. There's so many different theories going around right now, but they are. It's very heavily theorized. It's basically Breath of the Wild that they're doing based on the costumes.
What if you look at those stills,
yes,
like what they're wearing, it seems like a Breath of the Wild,
which would make sense. But
yeah.
Then, of course, later this year we got the Street Fighter movie coming out.
Which that movie is already getting a lot of hate, and I think it looks fantastic.
I think
like the movie's not even out, and people are already hating. Like, oh, it looks weird. They don't like this. I don't like this.
I think the fact that they are leaning so heavily into the silliness, I think, is going to do them favors. To be honest,
well, just like so, a lot of people were worried about Blanca because how are you going to make the Blanca character look like he's supposed to? Because he's super CGI.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no other way you can do it. And then you have there was a lot of people that were upset with Guile because Cody Rhodes' Guile he's not Guile's this huge military.
That's who the Cody Rhodes guy's playing?
Yeah, and Guile isn't like Cody Rhodes isn't. You know what I mean? So like he's not like that. You have Roman Reigns. So a lot of people, from my understanding, they were upset about the wrestlers playing the characters. So Roman Reigns playing Akuma, but then Akuma came out, and when Akuma came out, like he looks fantastic with it. Who they have playing Ken looks good. Ryu looks good. I mean, I haven't seen anything in this that I don't think is going to work. So that's something that I think people. It's crazy to me that people are already saying things like that whenever the movie's not even close to being out. I think it comes out in October? If I can look that up real quick.
See. I think so. It's definitely later in the year. Like it's not long from now.
I gotcha. I want to say it's October.
Yeah, and again, I think it's funny that back in the 90s, Street Fighter came first, and then Mortal Kombat came out. Well, now we had Mortal Kombat
It's October
come out.
16th.
Okay. So that's going to be a good one. Now, these next two are weird. So,
Okay, is this going to be...
well,
Is it going to be a movie or is it going to be a film?
so, Death Stranding, they are apparently doing two things. They're doing a anime, and they are doing a live-action TV show. Ghost of Tsushima apparently is just an anime.
I'm going to watch it.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because it is...
Remember the first few episodes and how much we talked about me playing Yotei? I did the same thing with Tsushima, just so y'all know.
Yeah, so I mean, Death Stranding is supposed to get an anime and a live action. Tsushima is supposed to be just an anime.
And then we got Wayne's show.
Dude, God of War. And dude, the fact, first off, I mean, the castings have been on point. I cannot wait for this show. I have all the faith in the world in Amazon. I mean, they did Fallout. We just talked about how critically acclaimed it was.
Well,
so
is this supposed to pick up from the original remake of God of War? Or is it going to go back to the original God of War?
No. It's the Norse
Not
Saga.
a remake, but
No, it's the
okay.
It's the Norse Saga, 2018. But the fact that they're gonna do 2018 and Ragnarok, and now with the announcement of Lao Fei, like they're setting up content.
Which that is something we'll talk in more in depth next week.
Oh, next week for sure. But that a TV show, again, that perfect format, and then Amazon cooking again with Tomb Raider,
I thought it's what's her name?
Sophie Turner. Yeah, Sansa Stark.
I thought that picture of her, like our first look of her being Lara Croft,
dude,
fantastic.
Casting is on point for me. Like huge fan.
I know, and it's funny because do you know what I heard about that? Is that her hair was still red.
I know. People are irritated.
And it's like, dude, she looks great as Lara Croft.
Dude, and she's jacked. Like it's gonna be outstanding. And then
the Gears show too.
Yeah, Gears is still
That's a movie, right?
I don't think that's the thing. I think it's still being bounced around, but there's still always a lot of rumors tied to it.
Hey, wait till next week whenever we talk about the press conference.
They might bring it up.
They might bring it up.
They're talking E-Day. So and then the Resident Evil movie that's coming out. So the guy who's doing that comes out also before the end of the year. But the guy, Zach Krieger, I think his name is, he apparently has been doing, I don't watch horror, but he's been doing some like hella good horror movies. Like that movie Weapons that won a bunch of awards, he did that.
So once you said it, the thing about me though, like, and me and my buddy had this conversation. My buddy's a huge Resident Evil fan. Like when the Resident Evil 9 came out, he played it for like a week and a half straight. He played it. He's got infinite ammo. Like he did everything you can do in that game pretty much. When that trailer dropped, he sent it to me and said, "Would you have guessed what this was?" And I watched it. It does not look like your typical Resident Evil movie.
No, and that's where people apparently are divisive on it because that's exactly what they're saying. They're saying they made a survival horror movie and slapped the Resident Evil label on it.
And if you watch the trailer, honestly, that's kind of what it looks like. I think you're going to need to watch the movie and see what it incorporates when it comes to Resident Evil, and stuff like that.
He has said that it was completely original. You were not going to see any characters from the games. Like the director has said, people don't need to see that. These games are basically narrative heavy on their own, so but
I think if you're going to put that name on it, you have to incorporate something from the original.
Agreed. Now, in the fact that it is so heavy horror, even though I love Resident Evil, I may or may not see it because I don't watch a lot of horror movies. But that's probably and then there is another one that's still shuffling around too, BioShock for a TV show.
Which that's another one that if it came out, it would probably be through the Microsoft press conference. I think they were all.
It's EA that does it. So
is it EA?
Yeah,
that's what it was.
But
okay, for some reason I thought they were partnering with Microsoft because I feel like I remember a lot of stuff being like original BioShock was exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah.
So that's where my mind went.
But ultimately, the thing with video game based movies, in general, when they first started and everything, it was like a curse. Like you could literally look up video game movie curse and you'll see people articles about it because they were historically considered bad.
Until around Detective Pikachu and Sonic, and then all of a sudden
2020,
everything flipped.
There started to be kind of this, and you've still had some
And
what
I
people
think part
call
of that
bad apples, but
I think part of that you can contribute to the fact with the updates of how CG works. Because if you think about it, CG is such, or video game movies are very CG heavy. Like we were just talking about, like Street Fighter coming out. Blanca, there's no way you could create that character and make him look correctly. They tried in the original one back in 1990, whatever.
Yeah.
Blanca's in that movie. And he did not.
Well,
not great.
I will say though, so you're not wrong, but where I'm going to correct you is the two most critically acclaimed pieces of video game content that has come out, Fallout and The Last of Us. They went very heavy on practical and not CG. So I don't disagree. But because obviously, Sonic, it's all CG.
Sonic, Super Mario. I mean, Super Mario's a completely animated movie.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu.
Like that's what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, there's definitely a piece, and I think
Detective Pikachu's another one where you have Pokemon all over the place, and you have a Pikachu that's talking the entire movie.
Exactly.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, but now, I mean, there's been a pivot, and people are starting to see that these are actually
they're not
good.
bad.
Yeah.
So,
but I think that is going to do it for our story mode. Let's go ahead and jump into our first side quest, now loading. All right. So this one we're doing brackets. So we've been talking video game movies. So Austin has put together a bracket, and we're going to go through.
I'm going to stream it so you can see it.
Oh, very exciting. You all can't see it, but I can see it. It's just going to take a second to come up here. All right. So
our first matchup, Mario Odyssey and Uncharted.
Well, Mario Odyssey is not a movie, so I assume you just mean Mario Galaxy?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I don't know why I put Odyssey on there.
All right, so Mario Galaxy or Uncharted? Look, man, I'm not going with critics. I'm going with me. I'm going to say Uncharted.
I would have probably picked Uncharted, too, which you'll see whenever I do this in a minute. Dead or Alive or Rampage?
So I said I haven't seen Dead or Alive, which is valid. So I'm going to pick Rampage on that one.
The Fallout TV show or Sonic the Hedgehog? Because we did throw some TV shows in here, too.
Oh, man.
And the second Sonic the Hedgehog, so the one with Knuckles.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna shit. Give me Sonic.
You know what? It might not be as crazy as we thought. The original Resident Evil
with Mila
or
Jovovich.
Street Fighter Legends of Chun-Li.
Yeah, so I have seen both of those. We're definitely going the original Resident Evil. Without a doubt.
Mortal Kombat 2, which came out in 2026, or the Minecraft movie.
So I'm not a big Minecraft fan in general. I can appreciate the movie for what it is, but give me Mortal Kombat 2 for sure. It's got Carl Urban, our Lord and Savior, in it.
Yeah. So Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie or the original Sonic the Hedgehog?
So because we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, give me Tomb Raider. I love Jolie's Tomb Raider. I am not saying that it's better than Sonic. I'm just using some logic here.
Warcraft or Detective Pikachu?
Yeah, give me Detective Pikachu for sure.
That's pretty easy. And then the original Mortal Kombat, as in like Mortal Kombat that came out in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, or Gran Turismo.
So
no. This one is the
1995.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Gran Turismo, but dude, 95 Mortal Kombat and that theme, give me that.
All right, so now you have Uncharted versus Rampage.
Definitely give me Uncharted between those two.
Then you have the original Resident Evil or Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
You know, if that was Resident Evil Apocalypse, I would probably pick that. But I'm going to go Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
All right, so Mortal Kombat 2, which is 2026, or Tomb Raider for Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, give me Mortal Kombat 2. I love me some Carl Urban. Big fan of Carl Urban.
Detective Pikachu or Mortal Kombat?
Well, since we're
1995.
since we're oh, that's 95 Mortal Kombat. That's right. Um, give me Mortal Kombat. I'm knocking out Detective Pikachu.
Uncharted or Sonic the Hedgehog?
Shit. So I do like Knuckles. I do, but as far as the Sonic movies, 3 is my absolute favorite. I love Nathan Drake's story. I love Tom Holland. Give me Uncharted.
Mortal Kombat 1995 or Mortal Kombat 2?
You're gonna have to give me 95. Yeah, I'm gonna take 95. Give me the OG Mortal Kombat.
And then Uncharted or original Mortal Kombat?
You know what? Look, I love me some Tom Holland. I love me some Spider-Man. I love Nate Drake. I love Mark Wahlberg. But no, you got to give me Mortal Kombat. Give me Mortal Kombat 95.
What a bracket.
That is a very interesting bracket.
What a bracket. Now, these are literally just 16 movies.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about even doing more.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of us throwing it together.
All right, refresh your bracket.
I got to remember how to do it.
So we're gonna use the exact same bracket. So Mario Galaxy or Uncharted. You going Uncharted? Okay.
Oh, and Uncharted.
Dead or Alive or Rampage?
Rampage.
Okay, all right, we're on the same page right now. Now, Fallout or Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
As much as I liked Sonic, Fallout was so good.
That's all right, we're going Fallout. Now we got OG Resident Evil or Street Fighter Legend of Chun-Li. I was say I know you like that Chun-Li movie, so I wouldn't sure. I don't know.
Yeah, so I didn't hate this movie as much as people did. Again, Resident Evil was more of a classic nostalgia feel.
Yeah.
I probably watched Street Fighter more, so I'm gonna pick Street Fighter.
Okay, all right.
All
right,
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2. And Minecraft, you're going Mortal Kombat 2 also?
And then Sonic the Hedgehog and Tomb Raider, I'm gonna pick Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, that's fair. Now I know which one you're picking here, Warcraft or Detective Pikachu.
It's not like Detective Pikachu's just.
I feel like Pikachu might be your crown jewel here. All right, Gran Turismo or 95 Mortal Kombat? Oh, Gran Turismo. All right, so we got to totally.
I'm serious.
I know you really
that movie was so good. It's so long, but that movie itself was so good.
Yeah.
Now we got Uncharted and Rampage.
You sticking with Uncharted or you like The Rock? Oh,
I'm gonna go Rampage. So I liked Uncharted. I love the characters in it. I love the people who played it. Rampage, there was just something. Again, it's The Rock, which I do really like The Rock. Just the interactions with that and the movie itself, like the CG was. I didn't think the CG was that bad in it for what it was. Like it's.
Well, we've kind of we've kind of stepped backwards on CG. I think
so. That one, but I really liked it. So.
Fallout or
and Street Fighter. I'm gonna go Fallout.
Yeah, you got to go Fallout on that one.
Mortal Kombat 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm gonna pick Mortal Kombat 2, which is the 2026 one.
Oh yeah.
Detective Pikachu and Gran Turismo is Detective Pikachu.
All right, so now you're down to Rampage and Fallout.
I would pick Fallout over Rampage.
All right, now Mortal Kombat 2 and Detective Pikachu.
This is the hardest pick of the entire bracket. Whoever wins this is going to beat Fallout.
You're basically choosing Carl Urban or Ryan Reynolds. And to me, that is an easy choice, but...
You would pick Mortal Kombat.
100%.
The thing is, Pokemon has been such a big part
of
my
life. Jam.
Like, it's so hard not to just make you the winner.
Detective Pikachu over Fallout.
Detective Pikachu. And now... I probably, if this bracket was mixed up a little bit more, Mortal Kombat and Detective Pikachu would have probably been my last two if any way that they would have found.
Oh yeah,
found one.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, the new Mortal Kombat, which we're going to get into in our next side quest. Between that and Detective Pikachu, like Detective Pikachu was just. I love the movie. I thought all the Pokemon looked great. I thought them using their moves and interacting. I thought them making, like I said, a talking Pikachu jacked up on caffeine. The Mr. Mime scene in that movie was so good. The R, whenever it hits Charizard and Charizard goes berserk, like that's insane.
See, I just
There's
thrive on nostalgia, which is why I took 95 Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So,
yeah, let's go ahead. So that's our brackets for now loading. Let's go ahead and jump into our new side quest, Midnight Meter. All right, so Midnight Meter, I kind of set the stage starting off, but basically we are going to talk through some recent releases that we have.
And this one is going to go fast because the whole premise of this is us going.
Yeah, it's solely like, look, when you listen to reviews and all of that, they when we're talking movies, there's plot, there's characters, there's this, there's that, games, there's gameplay, there's this. No, we're literally just going to give you a score.
So
based on like, go ahead.
I was gonna say based on our field, but I was gonna say there's some of them though that like I may not have played much of, but I'm only doing off what I've played, and there's some Chase plays everything that comes out for the most part, and I try to, but I don't have as much time right now. I play a lot. But like there's one on here I know, or two, there's three of them on here that I haven't played at all.
Yeah. Well, I'll rattle off a couple that I know you've played that I didn't put on this list that are not new releases so that you can do that. So,
all right.
Well, we've already talked about it kind of at length, but the new Mortal Kombat movie. So Mortal Kombat
9.
2 with Carl Urban and everybody. You said a 9? I will see your 9 and I will agree with your 9. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
Go ahead and ask me the next one because it's.
No, I'll do the next one. What's our next one? I'll do my score first.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
So Mandalorian and Grogu, I also enjoyed. Star Wars is obviously Austin's absolute jam. We know where he's going to land. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm gonna say a 9 on that too. No, I'm gonna say an 8 on Mandalorian and Grogu, and it's only.
I'm gonna say an 80.
An 8.
An 80 out of 10. To be honest, like, I do think that movie. To me, that movie was a 10 because of what it was meant to be. It was meant to just be a fun story with just those two in it, and I think they hit it on the head.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying 8 is there's so many other Star Wars I would put higher, which is why I'm saying 8. All right, now this one I don't think you've played yet, right?
I have not. So the Lego Batman game that just came out, Chase has already beat it. He loved it. So Chase, what did you put that as?
Yeah, Lego Batman: Legacy of the Dark Knight. I mean, dude, it's like the Arkham games, and Lego had a baby. Had a blast with it. Took me like 15 hours or something like that to beat.
The main story. He's still not 100%.
Oh, yeah. I've not 100% of that shit for sure. But I'm putting it in a 9. Like, I absolutely loved it.
And that's the one that I'm skipping because I don't have I never played it. So,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so the next one, Forza. I have played a little bit of Forza.
Forza Horizon 6, dude, the fact they went to Japan, like, that should already give it a 10. Just for that alone. But I'm giving it a 10. Like, I'm gonna give it an 8. Visually, the game is fantastic. The gameplay as well is fun. I mean, I haven't played as much of it as you have and some of my friends have, but like I have friends that are still playing it now. Like they play it. That's what, when they're just sitting, if no one's on, that's what they're playing. Yeah.
So I thought that, I mean, visually though, that game is visually stunning. Like,
really dude, it's so gorgeous. And the fact you get to race a Gundam. Huh. Yes.
No. Go ahead with the next one.
Yep. So I know you've dabbled, but
I'm only about an hour and a half in it.
All right.
But I like it.
007 First Light. What do you think?
Gameplay wise, and from what I've played, I mean, I think it has the possibilities of probably being a 7 or an 8. I want to see how the story develops, obviously, because I haven't seen anything of that really. All I've played is like the first 2 missions, I think, and I just haven't had chance with everything going on. So, but I think it has the capability of being an 8. But right now, I'm going to list it as a 7.
Yep, I'm putting First Light at a 10. Like, we are going to have a side quest in the future here soon, halfway through the year, where we're going to do some, friendly projections on awards, of what we're thinking. Dude, First Light is at the top of my list right now for the year. I also have a platinum trophy on that game now.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I've played it, but I haven't played it as much as Chase.
Yeah.
So,
now outside of games, now you haven't watched either one of these, right?
no.
So the Devil May Cry anime just came out with season 2. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't watched the Devil May Cry anime, you've got to watch it, especially if you thrive on nostalgia from a music perspective, because the soundtrack is banging. But the Devil May Cry anime for me, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm putting it at a 9. Like it was peak.
Yeah.
And
now, I've heard so much. This Splinter Cell one, I'm going to watch the Splinter Cell one that you have up here next. I have heard so much good stuff about that. I have a buddy that raves about it, and I watched a little clip with him one day. We were together, and he was showing me some stuff that happens in it. That looks that show really does look good.
Well, and so Devil May Cry, I'm going to give a 9. Splinter Cell, I'm going to give an 8. But the only reason is because I felt like Devil May Cry didn't feel too short. Like it felt like everything wrapped up. For
Right.
Splinter Cell, I felt like it was too short. But I loved it. All right, I want to make sure you get 2 more real quick because that you've played Dragon Quest.
Oh, Dragon Quest was like a 9. I loved that game. To me, that's. I don't know if they have a remake category, but if they have a remake / reimagine category,
They need to.
that category would be like that, or if Assassin's Creed is as good as it has the capabilities of being, that one. That one would probably win it.
Yeah, that's
but,
fair. And then I know you just started Red Dead Redemption, the first one. Where are you putting that
So,
one?
of course, that's kind of a throwback because that's not one that we're
I
gonna
know.
But I like Red Dead. You can definitely tell it's an older game when you're playing it,
Yeah.
but it's literally GTA in the Wild West. Like,
Good, that's fair. What do you
there
give
was
that
one day that I was playing it and I sat like 15 minutes at a poker table.
It's easy
like,
to
just
do.
Play cards.
Yeah.
So,
What do you give Red Dead Redemption, the first one?
see, okay, so I'll give it an 8, but I feel like it would have been closer to a 10 if I
you
played it
played
when
then.
it first released.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Because right now I'm dealing with I'm playing on the Switch, so it's kind of
That's right. I forgot
But-
about that.
Yeah, but it still plays fine on the Switch. It plays like it's supposed to. You can definitely tell it's a 360 game.
Exactly. So, but yeah, that's Midnight Meter. We're going to throw these in every now and then and just rattle off our scores. You can take it with a grain of salt or whatever. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our save point. All right. So, another good one. We got into all kinds of stuff today. You know, going back in time, talking about some stuff going on right now. All things video game movies related today, and you know it was. I've realized I need to add some of these to my rewatch list.
Well, I don't know how you haven't seen the original Street Fighter because that movie, especially if you like John Claude, like
Yeah, I know. I need to. But some of these that I've watched, I need to go back and watch. Like talking about Rampage, I kind of want to go back and watch it.
yeah, Rampage is one that I can, if it's on, I can turn it on. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And I was watching some the other day and it was the original clip in that movie where they were in the little like sanctuary and George is messing with everybody.
Yep.
It was fantastic.
But yeah, so as always, you know, thank you for hanging out with us today. And our next week's episode, we already kind of set the stage early on in our press start, but we are going to be recapping everything. The reason why we're not doing it this week is just timing of recording. But we're going to cover the state of play. We're going to cover the Summer Game Fest. We're going to cover the Xbox Showcase. If we get lucky and they do a spontaneous Nintendo Direct, we will find a way, hopefully, to grab that too. That's going to be next week's episode. Very game centric and very current. So not a lot of nostalgia there. We're just going to be doing some recaps.
Which we've done this before because we kind of did this. We talked a little bit of nostalgia with Pokemon, but we've really focused heavy on the Pokemon when they announced everything.
Yep, same concept. But we're also, you know, in addition to recapping, just talking about how much of a banging year 2026 has been. But
yeah, it's been good for games,
dude. Straight up. But you know, as always, reach out to us on social media: TikTok, Instagram, Discord.
There we go. I was waiting. I thought you were going to miss it again.
No. And of course, the email, the midnightreleasepod@gmail.com. One thing I do want to say, because a friend of mine who listens brought up, you know, keep in mind that, you know, we would like to have a whole episode at some point in the future where it is nothing but answering questions from folks. about anything we've talked about across 30-something episodes. So I just want to reiterate that fact. Send in questions about anything from all these 30 episodes. If we can get enough questions, we're going to have a whole Q&A episode. So keep that in mind. In all those areas you can reach out to us on. Did I miss anything?
Not that I can think of. I think you can go ahead and say the line.
I'm going to say the line. I'm going to say the line because, folks, as always, remember, some memories are worth lining up for.